Chapter 11 Geeks in Flight. Hi, Craig, I said. We were just, about to die. Yeah, you were. Craig let go of my ankle and I tumbled onto the wood chips on my butt. He stomped on my hand and kept his foot pressed down on top of my fingers. Then Lizzie slid out of the tunnel, stood up between us, and held her hand up to Craig's chest. As soon as she touched him, he flinched, as though he hadn't seen her, which I guess was true. Yow, Craig said. Where did you come from? That's not important right now. Listen, Lizzie said, I'm sorry we were here eavesdropping on you, but you can't beat up Willie. Sure I can, Craig growled. I could beat him up blindfolded, one-handed, hopping on one foot. Just watch me. Well, yeah, I said, figuring my only chance was to keep Craig talking. He might have been nice to his little brother, but he was killing my fingers. I tried not to think about what he could do to the rest of me. Of course you could beat me up if I was blindfolded, one-handed, hopping on one foot. But where would be the challenge in that? In a fair fight, I'd probably kick your oversized, hairy... Shut up, Willie, Lizzie and Craig both said at once. Then they looked at each other, rattled. Lizzie recovered first. I hope she knew what she was doing. My hand was killing me. As I was saying, you can't beat up Willie because he and I are the only ones who can help you. What are you talking about? And make it fast, because you already made me miss my bus. I have to get going soon, or I'll have to rush while I'm pounding on Willie, and it will ruin the fun. Craig, we heard the part about your little brother. If you let us go, we can get the cell phone to him without your parents even knowing about it. Flynn stared at her. You're serious? You can really bring him the phone, and you would do that for me? Then what would I have to do for you to make it even? Yes, we could really do it. Yes, we would do it for you, and you wouldn't owe us anything. Well, I interjected, you might consider getting off my hand. Craig lifted his foot, but reached down and grabbed the back of my collar. In an iron death grip, I yanked my bruised fingers away, sat up, and started to put my newly burned sneaker back on. How are you planning on doing this? Lizzie said, we can't tell you, but I promise your brother will get the phone. Just tell us where he lives and let us get going. Little Tyler won't have to wake up scared and alone tonight. Craig said, you promise? Really? Lizzie nodded and he handed her the phone. Just tell him that you're friends with Craig Wedgie. All right? I taught him never to talk to strangers, but that way he'll know you're okay. Craigie Wedgie, I asked. Look, Willie, I could still totally kill you. Lizzie said, come on, Willie, we don't have time for this. We have to get going. we have to go get the object we need. Craig, just give us your ex-stepdad's address, okay? It's 277 Swamp Court in Frogtown. The trailer right near the edge of the water. You can't miss it. But watch out for Tyler's dad. Pit bulls. I think there are 3 of them. Lizzie said, got it. 277 Swamp, Frogtown, 3 pit bulls. Let's hit the road, Willie. Craig said, one more thing. Don't tell anyone about this, okay? Your secret's safe with us, Craigie Wedgie, I said, and took off running toward home. As I passed Craig, I saw Lizzie pat him on the shoulder. Then she was running beside me, beside us. Craig shouted, hey, wait, how did you even know my brother's name? But we didn't even look back. As we left, Lizzie confirmed my alarming suspicion. Her plan was to fly the magic carpet to Tyler's house. She told me to get Dodger while she made some pre-flight arrangements. I asked her whether her arrangements would include finding out how to get to little Tyler's killer dog-infested house. She said she'd found out how to get there, no problem. I said magic. She said MapQuest. I limped home on my sore, enchanted toe, which rubbed against the ground through a gaping hole in my sneaker. Between that, my throbbing hand, and my black eye, I was starting to feel like I'd been through a war, and we still had a carpet flight to get through. I had no problem persuading my parents to let me go back out. I think the tincture of distraction was still working because my dad didn't even ask me how the big speech had gone. In fact, my parents didn't really pay much attention to me unless I was touching them. Amy was a different story. She kept staring at me, then looking away, then looking around again in bewilderment. I knew my problems with her were far from over. I went upstairs, got Dodger, and headed out the back door into the woods. On the way over, I kind of thought he'd be mad at me for having switched the order of the assembly speeches, but all he did was slap me on the back and say, Willie, that was a great plan. Dude, I never doubted you for a second. I tried not to roll my eyes. When we got to the Field of Dreams, I told Dodger about the mission to Craig's brother's house. He thought it was a great idea, but there was a catch. He couldn't go with us. Apparently, he couldn't help an Irish kid directly either. But this would be great, he said. My 2 best flying students of this century on a combat mission together. What do you mean, best of this century? Aren't we your only flying students of this century? Well, yeah, technically. But dude, I taught lots of people how to fly in other centuries. Like who? Amelia Earhart, the Red Baron, and let's see. Oh, I almost forgot Captain Max Press. I looked at Dodger blankly. You know, he said, the pilot of the Hindenburg Zeppelin. So, Dodger, your three best flight students of the whole 20th century all crashed. In a sense, I mean, if you're going to be all precise about it. Hey, look, there's Lizzie. The next thing I knew, Dodger was saying, Bon voyage, dudes. Beware of the end of the sentence was drowned out by the rush of wind as Lizzie and I took off flying the carpet of Khartoum. Lizzie asked, did he just say we should beware of cannibals? I shrugged. I was pretty busy concentrating. I was mostly controlling the flight with Lizzie standing next to me, holding a fistful of my sweatshirt with one hand and reading the directions out loud. Interestingly, we could see each other. Dodger had said that the tincture of distraction and the magic of the carpet would probably cancel each other out. I have to say I did a lot better on this mission than I had on my first one. Lizzie kept telling me I should go faster, but hey, we were going to get there. At one point, she dug her elbow into me and pointed out two little kids below us in a little red wagon. They appeared to be going faster than we were, but they were going downhill, so it was a totally unfair comparison. Anyway, we eventually got to Frogtown and found the trailer on the edge of the swamp where Tyler lived with his dad and the three deadly dogs. Once we didn't need directions anymore, Lizzie whipped Tyler's cell phone out of her pocket, handed it to me, and said, okay, Willie, I'll take it from here. What do you mean you'll take it from here? I asked. Look, do you see those high voltage power lines running on both sides of the trailer, and that row of trees in front, and the clothesline in the back by the swamp? Ooh, and the agitated, snarling dogs? I gulped. Yeah, but I think we're going to have to come in at a pretty steep angle if we want to get to Tyler's window without getting fried, smashed, or eaten. So while I know you are more than capable of piloting this carpet, I just thought you might want to give me a turn, that's all. I could feel the clammy sweat of intense physical fear breaking out all over my body. Well, I said, I guess it's only fair that I give you a chance. I knew you'd see it my way, Lizzie said. Now hold on. I'm going to have to dive almost vertically to get us past the power lines with enough speed to outrun the dogs. Then we'll circle the trailer once to get the dogs confused. They shouldn't be able to see us, but they will smell us. We'll need to hover by Tyler's window for a moment while you lean over the side of the carpet, knock on the window, and give him the phone. And we'll want to have a head start. Any questions? Couldn't we just land on the roof of the trailer or knock on the door? No, the roof isn't flat. See, and we can't knock on the door. Craig said his ex-stepdad would be mad about the phone thing if he knew about it, remember? So we need to get the phone to Tyler without his father knowing about it. Now hold on. I grabbed the hood of Lizzie's windbreaker and she shifted her weight forward. There was a horrible moment when we were tilted forward but hadn't started to dive yet. Kind of like that feeling when you're momentarily balanced at the top of a roller coaster. Then the wind was rushing past my face, the power lines were getting bigger and bigger right in front of me, and the dogs were starting to bark. Wow, those are some loud dogs. Not only that, but they appeared to be staring right at us. Lizzie, I said. Hush, she said. I'm trying to concentrate. You don't want me to hit any power lines, do you? No, but I don't think Dodger said, not now, Willie. I have to. Oops. Oh dear. Lizzie swerved to avoid a power pole, and the front edge of the carpet caught a tree branch. Instantly, we were tumbled and spinning at the same time. Lizzie was clutching my coat. I was desperately trying to grab the edge of the carpet, and the ground was getting really big, really fast. The impact was brutal. We landed about 50 feet behind the trailer, only about a yard from the beginning of a mucky swamp. Lizzie was on top of me, and the carpet had ended up half submerged amid the reeds, maybe 10 feet away from us. Lizzie just had time to gasp, Willie, are you all right? Before the dogs got to us. All three of them stood in front of our prone bodies, growling and drooling, no doubt about it. They had totally watched us flying in. Lizzie, I said, I don't think Dodger told us to beware of cannibals. Looking back on it, I'm pretty sure he said beware of animals. As the dogs glared at us right at our eye level, Lizzie muttered, oh right, good one, Willie. For maybe 10 seconds we didn't move, and neither did the dogs. Then they all started barking at once. Lizzie rolled me off, and I jumped up. I don't know what got into me, but I said, I'll hold them off, get the carpet. Thinking fast, I tried to come up with something I could use as a weapon. There was absolutely nothing, but I figured I might be able to get the dogs away from Lizzie. As the dog started jumping toward my face, I pulled off my left sneaker and threw it. "Fetch!" I shouted. All three dogs turned and rushed after the sneaker. The one that got there first pounced, and in an instant there were little shreds of leather and rubber flying everywhere. But then that dog started stumbling around in circles, totally confused. Wow, I realized, the tincture of distraction works on dogs. At least if they eat some. Too bad there were still two more dogs, and I only had one more sneaker. I whipped that one off my right foot, tossed it as far as I could, and watched the two remaining dogs jump on it. Only one of them turned back towards me. Before I could come up with plan B, the last dog was hurtling through the air at me. I fell on my back and tried to kick at him with my bare feet. My burned big toe brushed against the fur of his belly, and instantly the dog twisted away from me. He sniffed at the air but didn't look back in my direction. The tincture on my foot was still working. He couldn't see me. I was saved. This was great. But he was still growling, and now he was looking over my right shoulder at something in the swamp. "Lizzie," I said in the calmest voice I could muster, "I think you might want to hurry with that carpet."